I've spent the past 7 years building a video production company, and this year we're changing everything and going all in on YouTube. I realized a couple months ago that we built a good business, but we built everything backwards, starting with equipment, production processes, learning how to use cameras, microphones, and edit really good videos. But we've completely neglected the most important part of making a video, and that's how to get it in front of the people that need to watch it. In fact, I even tried this. I started a channel on the side. It was called Drew the Catholic, and this was just a passion project in a very obscure niche. It's the religious niche, so not very high ad revenue, not one you would think would be monetizable or lead to opportunities. But I essentially devoted hours for about 2 years to building this channel as low effort as possible. That meant just using equipment that was already set up to record podcast style interviews and not really putting much more thought into it than that. Just talking about things that I cared about in that space and seeing what it became. But what I failed to do was approach YouTube the right way. You see, instead of being a side project, I failed to see that YouTube at that moment could have been an engine for growth for my company, my personal brand, and in this company, all of my clients. And instead of leveraging that knowledge and that opportunity, I was just wasting hours on a side project that wasn't going to go anywhere because it didn't have audience alignment, it didn't have strategy, and I ignored platform best practices kind of on purpose as an act of rebellion. I don't know how I expected that to do anything other than what it did, which is lead to some of my best videos not getting any views. But what if instead of doing that, we actually approached YouTube the way that it deserves to be approached? We approached it as a valuable content engine, one where you can create content and reach an audience and develop trust and scale an entire business from that. You see, even in the creator sphere with people who are creating entertainment content, this is what the most successful creators are doing. The business itself is not their videos. The business is a Feastables chocolate bar or Ryan Trahan's candy. It's a t-shirt, it's a product or a service. And YouTube is the growth engine that attracts customers to that business. That means that for business clients, this is even easier because you already have a business, you already have something that's probably generating revenue, whether that's through ads or word of mouth, and YouTube, when done right, can accelerate that. What's even better is in spending months researching businesses that are successful on YouTube, I've discovered that they don't have to go viral to even do well. Some of the businesses I've seen that are crushing it only have a few thousand subscribers and are averaging a few thousand views a video, but still getting reliable leads for their businesses because of the precision with which YouTube can align an audience to your content if you play the game right. All that to say, while a lot of people were focusing on social media, especially with TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, we've been focusing on the wrong end of the production spectrum, which is the production itself and not the strategy behind how to get those videos that you make in front of people. And this is something I've known all along. What's really funny is I've always been really big on YouTube. I've always called myself a YouTube maximalist. And in my mind, someday when this company got big enough, I was going to make it a YouTube company. Now I'm at a point where it's like, wait, that should just be the way that we scale this company because it's what I know best and it's what I like the best. And I also think it provides the most value to my clients. That just means undoing a lot of bad habits. But I mean, the data is there. YouTube is still the strongest platform, and I don't think that's going to change soon. I mean, YouTube is 1.6 times more likely to influence a purchase decision than other video platforms. 68% of consumers say they go to YouTube before making a purchase decision. So they might have found your ad on Instagram or TikTok, but they're going to go look at product reviews and information on your industry on YouTube to do their deep dives. So it's still the driving engine of content growth in 2026. And I think now's a great time for any business who wants to grow with content to go big on YouTube. And that's why our business is going to do that and start offering those services to our clients. So what was it that made me realize all of these things, many of which I already knew, and decide that now is the time to pivot a high quality commercial production business into a YouTube business as well? And a big part of that is that we were just tired. We were just tired of having to chase production job after production job, making video after video, starting from scratch every time. And don't get me wrong, I love making really high quality commercials. We're not going to stop doing that, but that's only one part of the puzzle for most businesses, and it's certainly not as valuable as it could be when you're actually implementing those things for people. I got the value proposition wrong. I should have been approaching it from a strategy first standpoint, knowing how to align content with platforms, which I knew how to do, and spending the time doing that so that when someone needed full quality production, we had a total solution for them. Now I'm more confident than ever that this is the path, not only for our business, but for lots of businesses out there. I think that so many of us are waiting till we have the time to turn on a growth engine or a content engine, not realizing that the years that go by where we're stuck in really a trap that we've created in our businesses, where you have the business that comes in, however it comes in, and then you have the fulfillment, and you can't really pivot any of it to free yourself up enough to grow. But if you just made the commitment to start posting content and start learning how to make YouTube videos, you can break out of that. 2 years ago when I started my side project, if I had done this instead, I would have a fundamentally different business than I have today. And I've proven that to myself. I've done the research on other companies just like ours who have made similar moves and looked at the value that they've provided for their clients and seen that it's just a no-brainer. And the only reason I didn't start was because I was a little bit afraid of making that pivot. But today, we're going to make the pivot. And this channel is actually going to be the living proof of concept of this idea that we have as YouTube being the best growth engine content-wise for businesses that's out there. So what that means is we are now going to be tracking our real growth, everything completely transparent. We'll show you the growth metrics, the views, thumbnail tests that we're doing. We'll talk about YouTube strategies for businesses, how to start a channel that's actually aligned with your business and grow. And we'll have some fun while we're at it. There's a couple video ideas that we're working on that show behind the scenes of how this type of work happens and the immense benefit that it has for businesses. So if you want to follow our journey into pivoting our traditional film company into a YouTube company and see how YouTube for business really works, make sure you hit subscribe and like, and we'll see you in the next one.